Hello again. Now today we're talking about SLVO. SLVO is Credit Suisse X-Link Silver Shares Covered Call ETNs, and that's due in April 21, 2033. I'm not going to deal with the covered call ETNs right now. An ETN is an exchange traded note. We'll deal with that on another video. It does not have a yield of 35%. I go into my app and I put SLVO and it says it has a 35.05% yield. Its beta is decent. It's 0.89. It's less than 1. I like them positive or negative, less than 1. It doesn't have any earnings per share. It opened at 644. Its high was 645. Its low was 640. So it's bouncing around a little bit. The 52-week high, was 750, and its 52-week low was 582. It does not have a 35% yield. It says that in my app. When I put it into my favorite SLVO space div space history, Credit Suisse X-Link Silver Shares Covered Call ETN, which is a lot to say at one time. The dividend yield, according to NASDAQ, is more close to the truth. I'm not sure if it's exactly true or not, but it's 21.63%. You'd have to do the math yourself. I'd have to do the math myself. It's monthly stock. In January it was a 0.1159. February it was 0.2103. March is 0.1906. April is 0.188. And May is 0.1161. The cutoff dates are around the 19th or 20th. The pay dates are the 25th, 26th, May 25th, April 26th, March 25th, February 25th, and January 25th. So it's about 5 days different. If you match this up with another stock, then you can maximize your gains. I got to do a special video on that and pick a few stocks that we can match up and show you how that is. The reason I'm talking about Credit Suisse X-Link Silver Shares Covered Call ETNs due April 21st, 2033. Now I can take a breath. SLVO, we'll just say SLVO. Because, like my other video, we have to make sure in our due diligence that the dividend yield is what the dividend yield is supposed to be. It is closer to 21% versus 35%. As I said before, it's good. It's got like 5 days between the declaration date. Between the declaration date and the record date is about 15 days. Between the record date and the payment date is only about 5-6 days. So it's good as far as able to match that up and maximize your gains, especially with a 21.63% yield. That's a pretty good yield. And if you were able to find a stock, I'm not sure if it would be ORC or OXLC or one of my other ones, but I am sure that you could pair this up with another stock and maximize your yields. You'd have to put, like I said on the other, you'd have to put yourself up a chart and find out which one will maximize your yields the best. But the only reason I was covering this particular stock is because somebody asked me, does it really have a 35% yield? And they were looking over the last 5 years and they determined for themselves it didn't look like a 35% yield. And then I delved into it, and according to my app, it's 35%. But according to the NASDAQ, when you put it into NASDAQ, when you do the dividend history, okay, it's not always accurate. It'd be 85% accurate. I have never figured out exactly what the percentage is. If you don't like NASDAQ, if it doesn't look like it's going to give you a yield in NASDAQ, that's when you can look at the dividend channel, the other channels, or the other areas that you can just put div history of whatever stock it is, and then they'll come up. I prefer NASDAQ because it's in a very good format. And then if NASDAQ isn't showing you the right thing, then what you have to do is go to the next one and then to the next one. And then you can find out for yourself what the actual yield is, because you can find out how much the dividend pays and divide that, add all the dividends up, okay, and then you can divide by what the price of the stock is. But since it's a monthly and it jumps around a lot, you can get an estimate, but you won't get the actual price unless NASDAQ is accurate. But it can't tell the future for the next 6 months. It can only tell you what months that you have right now. So, in recap, do I like SLVO? It has a decent yield. I like the yield. Okay? SLVO has a decent yield. It has a decent beta of 0.89. I like the beta. But the earnings per share said it didn't have any earnings per share. That's always a red flag for me. Right now, at this point, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the stock for myself. But it looks like because of the yield, because of the dividends that it's been paying out, it looks like that they try to do the best they can to make sure you get your yield. Okay? So is it a buy for somebody else? At this point, for me, it's not a buy. But for other people, I can see the attraction of the yield of 21%, and I would say that if they want to buy it, ask your financial advisor, and it would look like in the future, depending on earnings per share, I wouldn't mind buying this stock in the future. But right now, because the EPS is not there, I'm not buying it for myself. So the next time I see you, before I see you next time, put some comments down below, ask me some questions. I'm having a Patreon come up. It's P-Kula, P-K-U-L-A, on Patreon. I haven't got the link in yet, so